Yeah, I don't know. You guys have any questions or any thoughts? No?
Mario sure does.
I saw you playing the bass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? How you liking the bass?
It's hard.
What type of bass is that? What type of bass is it? Is it P bass?
It's like some Squire jazz bass. Kind of sick, actually.
Dude, Fender makes great basses. He does the best basses ever made. So
Definitely.
yeah.
But yeah, Eduardo, I don't know. This guy's just super
What?
good at making music. And I know you just started, so if you have any more beginner questions, you want to ask. It's great resource.
Were you scared?
Scared to do this, get on stage, learn all that stuff. I think the very beginning, yeah, like it is not gonna lie, it's terrifying getting in front of people, right? Especially when they elevate you and they put you on a stage. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more you learn your instrument, the more confident you get with that instrument. Even looking at people in the eyes, right? Or what I like to do is I like to look right above the eyes, right? Especially when you're on stage. So I do vocals for a band right now. It's called Narwhale. We actually played here before. And then is it November we have a show here?
November 22nd.
Yeah, November we have a show here, so you guys should all come to that. It's gonna be sick. But yeah, that's
I
like a
will.
lot. I like to look above people because it's scary, you know.
That's how I'm gonna. That's how
And
I'm
everyone's
gonna
looking
end
at you
this.
the whole thing, but
It's just. Sorry.
you justify being scared because you love this thing so much. So you get up on stage, you perform, and you show everyone your hard work because you're stoked about what you all this hard work you're doing, you know. Yeah, like actually we just played the Federal. You guys know what the Federal is? So it's above the post office right downtown.
What?
It's beautiful, beautiful. That's what I invited you to. You
I
couldn't
know,
come.
I said I can
There's
come. I had no idea it was above the post office.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
what?
150 people there. It's awesome.
God.
It was crazy. It was cool. So, yeah, it's just one of those things that you'll learn over time.
Fanny Cook was there also, right?
But yeah, it's just something that you'll learn over time, just to kind of get used to, and yeah, you'll have fun.
I kind of meant like out in the world when people are like, get a job.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay, let's get into this. It's very hard because like when you're in school, you're taught one way, right? You're taught, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta follow the line, right? But as a creative, I have been my own boss for coming up actually just past 9 years, and you can really make money and become your own boss and learn to do artistic things and bring in income, right? So you fully can be a musician, especially actually now with digital as well, even though it's hard because back in the day you could have sold 1,000 records and made really, really good money, you know? There's just different ways now. But you just gotta, again, be confident with that and know that like, no, I love this creative thing. I know people are telling me I need to get a quote unquote job, but also this is a job. Or like I carry a video camera for a living, right? That is a job. It's creative. Most people don't make money at it, but you can figure out how to make money in whatever you do. So when they say just get a real job, it's like, well, what does that even mean? You know, that was actually a little side tangent with that. I was just having a conversation with a pretty successful doctor in town, and he was saying that he's like, I just don't understand. Like, you should go to college. You should get a quote unquote real job. You should do this. And I said, check this out. So, one, I love that you're a doctor. That's awesome, right? But where do you go after hours, right? You go have a drink. You go out to eat, right? You listen to music on your car ride. All of those people, if they went to doctor school, right, you would have none of that stuff to go do after. So this world needs both people. You need your creative and your talent and your musicians, right? Because we need music, we need food, we need these things, right? But also we need healthcare, we need doctors, we need stuff like that, right? So there is room in this world for both people, for sure. Does that answer your question a little bit? So just know the people who say that, they're looking at it from a very weird mindset, weird mind frame. And just know that if you are creative, you do want to do this for a living, you can, and that is totally okay as well. Like I choose not to wear a suit and tie for a reason, and they grow out my hair. You know? So, yeah. And the conversations I get into about my hair with the old ladies are hilarious. It's awesome.
What's the funniest one?
So we were just in Phoenix on Tuesday. We just played a show out there. Didn't get home till 3 in the morning, by the way. That was terrible. Had to have a meeting at 8 o'clock too. So that was, that was really.
That was even worse.
But walked into Goodwill. We were killing some time. There was a guitar center in Scottsdale in Goodwill. We were just like, oh, maybe there's a cool hat. Walk in there and this old lady just goes, hey, I like your braids. I was like, oh, well, thank you. She's like, how long did it take you to grow these things out? I don't know, like 5 or 6 years. And she goes, good for you. And then turns around and walks away. And there's all these people listening and it's really awkward and it's weird. Another one a couple weeks ago, someone just grabbed my hair and shoved to touch it. That happened all the time. It's weird.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's weird. So,
Yeah.
anyways, hopefully that helps. So, seriously, like you can totally have fun at this and make a living at this, and, or if you want to become like a physical artist and draw stuff, like you can totally do that too. So,
When did you first start making income from videography? Like, how did you start that business?
so that one kind of fell in my lap because of the den. So, for you guys that don't know what the den was, it was all ages music venue. It was right here next to Midco, so right across the street. And essentially, I opened it up with the passion of having consistent music here every single week. You guys know, you guys are at every freaking show. For all ages, safe place, but consistent, right? Bands from all over the world. We have bands from Australia, from UK, from DC, Canada, New York, Washington, all that stuff coming through. It's pretty freaking dope. I miss it a lot. But in that, I knew how important content was. So I've always had a camera, but I really invested into my, videography skills and video equipment and stuff, and really started putting out content then. And then people started hitting me up via Jen, like, who's your video guy? I said, oh, it's me. And they're like, cool, you want to make some money? I said, well, this isn't making any money because I'm sitting here empty for 2 years because of COVID and all that junk. And yeah, might as well. So that is what kind of jump started that business. So
Yeah. Cool. And what do you think the best way to promote your content as a band is? When you're first starting out, any suggestions on how to do that?
yeah, so back in the day, it was tour as much as you could, play as much as you could, get in front of me. Just essentially, how do you get in front of as many people as you possibly can, right? So back in the day, it was Hollywood Boulevard, just get to California, just get to Chicago, New York, all the hubs, right? Now, and it's pretty awesome if you do have the power of social media because anyone, anywhere, in their living room can do it, right? So that's all marketing is get in front of as many people as you possibly can and then go to that platform, right? So is it radio? Is it social media? Is it YouTube? Is it playing shows? Right now it's social media. So go in front of people, start in front of people, start doing social media stuff, and that's the easiest way. It also costs you nothing. Pay for gas. You have to figure out how to get to California, and then also it's really hard to get into those shows too. You have to have recordings and all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. With social media, you can just start literally today. I know you guys have probably already heard that. People say it all the time, but it's the truth. It's zero barrier to entry. All you need is a cell phone. You can just start doing it right away. People find a lot of success with it too. So, yeah.
I guess because you started Narwhal in a post-social media world, right? Where you were already creating, or was it before?
So Orion, the guitar player, started Narwhal in 17, 18, and then I joined in 2019. And then we sat forever because of COVID, right? But yeah, so it started when social media was a thing. Yeah. Yeah. What do you play?
I play the bass and I sing.
Awesome. How's that going?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm not playing bass for band lab, but I do play the bass.
Okay. Yeah, I think I heard you singing too. You were singing as well, right? Yeah.
Yep. I play piano too.
Cool. That's cool. How long you been doing that for?
Probably like 3 years probably.
And then what grade are you in?
6.
Okay. Sweet. That's cool. Are you liking being in like a band?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A lot.
Are these guys helping or not?
Yes.
How are you, man? What do you play?
I'm a singer and I'm learning guitar.
Sweet. That's good.
Vocals.
I used to play piano.
Are we talking yelling? Are we talking singing?
All of it.
Really? Cool. Because that's what I do. So I grew up playing guitar, dabbling drums, really got into recording, and I found a love for like metal, hardcore, like yells and screams.
Yeah, I kind of won your houses.
You did? Dope. What'd you think? Pretty cool?
Yeah, loud, for sure. But yeah.
That's what I love, you know? So, and then you said bass?
Also picking up the guitar.
Cool. Yeah, soak it up all and like try something new too, try something different, and just don't be afraid. Any other questions? Anything? What interests you? Do you guys see you guys going for like, you guys want to take this as far as you can? Are you just here because it's cool for summer? Like, what do you guys think?
I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah? What do you think you need to do next step for this?
Probably first.
Post consistently, right? Every Monday post, every Wednesday post, every Friday post. And do that for the next 15 years. Serious. And that's with anything too. It's like, you get a job, you have to show up 8 a.m. every single day, or Monday through Friday, or else you're gonna get in trouble, right? So you gotta look at that like, okay, I wanna make a living at this. So the way you make a living at something is you have to show up consistently. And if you don't, you're gonna get in trouble. You see what I mean? So if you think you need to post consistently, keep your face on camera, talk about it, show them secret, what you're doing, and how you went to band lab, and what you're doing, and all that stuff. You gotta hold yourself accountable because now you're your own boss, right? You don't have someone, or a teacher, or your parents, or whatever telling you, you gotta do this, you know? So, start posting. Be consistent. You got a cell phone? You're good. What about you guys?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what do you think the best way to DIY your music when you're first starting to record is? Is it just using a phone, or do you have like tips and tricks on how to make it sound as best as possible?
The barrier to entry now is it's awesome. Because like if you can afford to get a laptop, a MacBook, you have already surpassed so many people. Like it's crazy. Like back in the day, like 70s, 80s, even 90s, you had to spend at least $500,000, you know, to $1 million to actually get decent level of quality. And the board would take up this whole entire room, and you need a live room, and you need $10,000 mics, and all that crap. With a laptop and your cell phone as a mic, or a really cheap mic, like you can do a lot with that. You can do a lot with that. So yeah, I mean, just start with your cell phone. Start with your cell phone right now. There's a lot of DAWs, so recording softwares, they're called DAWs, DAWs. They can actually go on your cell phone. Obviously, if you can get a laptop, you can do a lot with that, but maybe using interfaces and all that stuff. So, yeah.
How long have you done narwhal?
So since 2019, so weirdly enough, 6 years. It's crazy.
How do you guys deal with like conflicts within the band? How do you guys like do this for?
Dude, that's hard. We always joke. You guys know Slipknot?
Yeah.
How many members are in Slipknot?
At least 25.
At least 25, right? I mean,
Huh?
I think there's like, 9 or 8 or something like that. So we always joke that like, that's the hardest part, or that's the craziest part about Slipknot. It's not that they play the insane amount of people or they whatever make really good records, is that they get that many people in one room at one time. Members are the hardest part, and it's just trying to find those right people that you can click with, that you can be friends with, and that will show consistent, and then obviously play their own work, right? We just went through a drummer change, and it was very messy, and it's just kind of how it is the name of the game when you're starting a band or being a band. It's like, I always say like this, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but it's like having like 4 other girlfriends or 4 other favorites. Like,
What?
It's having like multiple different relationships, and you have to like all be in the same room, learn to love the same stuff and whatever, you know. And I'm married now. I don't want. You know? So it's like, we're all a little older now. We get our jobs that we have to do. We get that we need to be professional. We get that we need to show up when we say we're going to show up. And it's just having that almost like a list of agreements like right now. Like, hey, we're all on the same page. We want to do this for a living. We're going to show up every Wednesday at this time. We have shows and people asking us to play. We're going to make sure we get back to you within 30 minutes or 20 minutes to get up, you know, impress bookers and stuff like that. So just having agreements, handshake agreements, stuff like that, written down agreements, and just communicating and be on the same page with people. Because that is the hardest part about being in a band, in my opinion, is finding those other members and then finding good members that are actually going to put as much effort in as you are.
Liking the same stuff together is the thing I think we found the most tricky. Because even, not just me and my brother, you know, like we try to find music that we can both like.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I can play this for like a couple of months, but then after that,
Yeah.
come on guys.
Dude, we found a drummer that lives in Chino. They just moved here from Montana, who plays the gnarliest metal you can think of. He lived in Chino. The weirdest thing, because like, that's where I grew up. I grew up in Chino, and no one played music like that out there. And so it was just weird. It was like, this is crazy. We didn't have to go to Phoenix to find this guy. He just lived here. So it's like, yeah, you just gotta put your feelers out there and meet people. And stay consistent and be on agreement. And yeah, like, hey, like, we want to play this style of music. What do you guys think? Yeah. I like that chair you're in. They just built.
Well, how did you develop like your own unique vocal style and just practice that? Because did you have like any formal experience with vocal training or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, what I did is I found the, or I got the knowledge or whatever, took the lessons to figure out how to sing. So you use a diaphragm, you just use your throat, you stretch, you warm up, you do all those things, all of the barriers into, you know, foundational elements. And then I pretty much went from there. Like, well, what do I like? What do I don't like? What hurts? What doesn't hurt? Because it's very good not to hurt yourself, right? And then what's comfortable, what sounds good, projecting, breathing, all that stuff. And what's also fun to do, you know? So, and that's the thing, is like, even though there is a very foundational way of playing the guitar, playing the bass, or singing, or whatever the case is, and the same, you know, this guy will have the same Fender Strat, and so will this lady have the same Fender Strat, but they'll play differently. It's because we're all made different, right? So you'll find your own style once you learn those foundational elements, the notes, all those things, and you start practicing it over and over again. You'll just kind of get in your, yeah, you'll just find it essentially. Okay. So also the music that you listen to, the music you grew up with, you'll pick up different elements and make your own thing. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
What are some vocalists or bands that you look at for inspiration?
Yeah.
With something like that?
You guys like Every Time I Die at all? Norman Jean, Seosin. Norman Jean, yeah. Seosin, Under Oath is a pretty popular one. Under Oath. Yeah. Just guys that get up there and yell their brains out, dude. Chariot's another one. Those guys are awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Devil Wears Prada. Is there Devil Wears Prada? Also, it's a great movie. One of my favorite.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I didn't even know this.
it's a great movie.
Chariot, like their live video.
Yeah.
So insane.
I've seen them live a handful of times.
Really?
Yeah. My favorite
You probably
experience.
saw one of the videos, huh?
My favorite experience was just like they hit one note and the bass player was right here.
Yeah.
And I just, whoa, oh my god! And then his bass is over there.
Yeah.
And this guy's lighting a fire on stage. And this guy's throwing a cap through the wall. And it was crazy.
Yeah.
They were gonna have to play it today.
Really?
I-
It's trash in place for
Well, so when I owned the band, what that meant to my bandmates was, well, we can do whatever we want. So we can put holes in walls. Remember that when Ryan shoved his guitar through the wall? Yeah. And he just like fell back, created a hole, and then put his guitar through the wall. It was great. It's fun. So it's fun.
So how did you transition from helping people create music up in Washington into like having something like the Den and just like trusting yourself that
This is
you
what
would be
I
able
used
to be
to
successful in I guess so many different creative settings, because it's like most artists, I feel like stick with what they know. It seems like you've had a lot of variety in the creative works you've done.
Yeah.
How'd you know it was time to stop helping newer bands gain followings and stuff like that up in Washington, I guess?
Yeah, so we moved back in 2019, just because we were having more kids, and my wife and I, we wanted to be around family and stuff. And I always told myself, I actually wasn't ever going to come back here. I grew up here. I'm sure you guys feel this way as well. As here, it's boring. Never wanted to come back, right? And so, and I told myself, my wife, I said, if we ever go back, I've got placed into a legit venue, all ages, new music boom. So I'll try if I go back. And I legit moved back, and I tried, right? And I took a lot of the stuff that I learned from the recording studio. I made a lot of connections, a lot of contacts, and I just started doing my own research, right? And I found out that actually weirdly enough, Prescott is in like the coolest location, and the reason why is because there's a thing called a tour loop, right? And so bands, they can't just come, so you start in Washington and then go down the coast all the way to California and then go back up, because then they're just hitting the same venues. So they come inland and they hit Phoenix, and they hit Flag, and they hit Idaho, they just go back up, right? And so we're in this giant tour loop, it's the West Coast tour loop. And so I figured that out, stumbled upon it, I did a bunch of research, so 3 in the morning last time, it was terrible. And they were like, okay, I think I need to do this. Right? So essentially going from recording into doing a music venue, or opening a music venue, it was pretty close to the same thing. A lot of my knowledge went over the same thing. And then also helping out bands though never stopped. It just transitioned, right? It went from helping bands to record to now giving them a platform, right? And giving people a chance. So like that was the one thing that like we always did, is we gave everyone a chance, right? Was that one of your first shows? Yeah, it was like one of your first shows. I think, did you play opening night too?
Opening night, what was it, Locals on?
Yeah, it's Locals on. It was Correcting Suicide, you, and then Cthulhu played. Dude, that was a great show. And then, whatchamacallit, I forgot was one of that. But essentially, was it?
You have a favorite show that you ever done?
Oh goodness.
Other than Narwhale?
Those are the worst ones. Honestly, I loved that one. I'm not just saying that. I just like there's something special to like the first one. And then I'm trying to remember the names, but there was like these like kids, like 15, 16-year-olds who came down from Idaho, and they're just in like I forget their names. They're all of Cthulhu's buddies. But they just were no joke. They were just shredded. They were so freaking good. There was like 6 of them that came in and toured. Which is so cool. We had a Metallica dude's son. That was pretty cool. I don't know. I had a bunch of my favorites. A bunch of my friends. So, yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think? Any questions? Nothing like that. Yeah.
How on stage do you take out your hair and headbang as hard as you can so your hair flops around?
I used to. I stopped
Why?
because my hair went like this, and I inhaled, and I feel like it touched my stomach, and then I almost threw up. It was terrible. And I also just like the braids. I like it a lot. This is kind of my style. Yes, you get.
Do you ever wrap them around your head like a crown?
No. So when I
You
sleep,
should.
sometimes they choke me and
Oh.
wrap around, do all stuff, and
Ah.
hit my kids in the face and stuff. It's great. And again, old ladies like it for some reason. They like the pull. touch them and it's weird too.
What's the most common, is it let everyone know that thing that people do with your hair?
Touch it.
Just touch it, just.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
Well,
How many times do you get, is this real?
every time I go to fries. I don't know why. Every time I go to fries. I get asked if I'm native a lot too, which I think is funny, but like, yeah, I'm not. I just like braiding my hair, it's fun. Yeah. So, but yeah. But yeah, so what's the end goal with these? Is it 2 weeks you're doing this?
No, just this week.
Just
Just
this
the
week.
concert tomorrow, yeah.
That's right. Okay, so the end goal is to get up there, play a song, play a full set, play some originals, covers. What's the end goal?
I mean, we write songs in the beginning, and then we figure out how to play them, and then we decide if we want to do a couple covers later.
Cool.
I think.
So you guys have a couple originals you guys are playing?
Yeah.
Cool.
Lots of original stuff.
Lots of originals.
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
mostly original.
Cool.
But
That's the way to do it. We don't play any covers in Narwhal. Even though we're talking about one right now, we've been talking about it for 6 years, and I don't think we're ever going to keep it. Originals always, you know?
no, originals are sick. And it's really important just to create original music.
Dude, and I hope no one takes this the wrong way, but like, the most important thing you can do is get up on that stage and play and suck and fail and do good and mess up and do all that stuff. Like Dave Grohl, you guys know who that is? Foo Fighters, lead singer, drummer of Narwhal, or drummer of Nirvana, that'd be sick, right? Drummer of Nirvana. That's what he said. He said the best thing you can do is get in the garage and suck. And he's so bright because the more you do that, the better you'll get, the more you'll find out what you like or you don't like, and all that stuff. So have fun, get up there, mess up, play good, hit the chord, hit the wrong note, hit the good note, all that stuff. Just have a blast. And if you mess up, guess what? You're in the coolest place to mess up too, because everyone loves you here. Like, I've been booed off stage before, I've had stuff thrown at me, like, that is not a good environment. This is a great environment.
It's terrible.
Yeah. The worst part is having the sound guy yell at you, because they yell at you through the monitors, you know what I'm talking about? So, you have your stage monitors that go out towards the crowd, but you have floor monitors that you hear yourself from. And I've had some pretty mean sound guys say some pretty mean things. have you guys had that yet or no?
And I've had some like mean sound guys, like something like leave like like weird like the sound and stuff. It's like they want very particular things. And it's like,
You'll find them in the valley all the time if you play there.
Yeah.
They're great. They're awesome. We had a great sound guy on Tuesday. That was cool. But anyways, yeah. So have fun. And then this is the core group. This is everyone.
Yes. Actually, we're missing Joel and Peter.